acompanha o programa Ciência e Espiritualidade, hoje apresentando mais uma série de entrevistas realizadas com o professor Amit Goswami. Agora nós vamos acompanhar um pouquinho de como ele coloca do porquê que é necessário ter um entendimento maior sobre a vida, de ter um entendimento sobre o propósito maior. Vamos acompanhar.
And what would be this, you mentioned in your book this idea of this spiritual economy or conscious economy. If I understand well, having human beings relating themselves with a higher meaning, not based only on basic needs, but on more spiritual, emotional needs, what would be an economy serving humanity with this approach?
I think that time has come. Whereas it is true still, we have out of 6 billion people, it is still true that 80% live in tremendous misery.
Yes.
That is true. But I think, this threshold certainly that we are talking about, some people making a change that will make changes in the whole species. I think the threshold of that couldn't possibly be any more than 20%. It's probably much less than even 10%, my personal feeling. Many people say it's maybe 3%. So we already have then the capacity of making a threshold of changes, people who can make changes that can get into the whole human species. So therefore time has come to recognize that many of us, when you calculate 3% of 6 billion, it's a huge number. Yes. And many of these 3% will live in the economically developed countries. Already we have discovered an economic aspect of businesses and industries and conglomerates, corporations, which is called outsourcing. The boring stuff we are transferring to really miserable places where people need money so much that they are willing to do anything. For us, it's boring. For them, it's making a living. It's exciting. So this is a very nice sharing of economy with another group who needs it at a lower level, but we are ready to move on to more meaningful jobs. People in these countries, and Brazil is quickly entering this advanced economy also, not whole of Brazil. Brazil has huge poor population, I'm quite aware of it. But part of Brazil, India is the same way. There is only part that can take part in this advanced economy. But there is room for it, which is that at that level, you are no longer interested in boring, meaningless jobs. You want meaning in the job itself. Why should you have, out of 16 or so waking hours, why should you have to spend 8 or 10 hours doing something meaningless? Because that takes toll in two ways. First of all, you didn't contribute to meaning in 8 or 10 hours, but also that doing a boring job does so much to your soul, drags it down so much that all you can do with the rest of your waking hours is to entertain yourself. So you really don't have any time to process meaning. So once we are liberated from these boring jobs, we will want to do meaning, we want to pursue meaning. So the economics that Adam Smith develops, which is based on the satisfaction of material needs, must now be enlarged in scope to allow for people satisfying their higher needs. There is demand for these needs. So there is a demand, so supply must come. This was Adam Smith's great idea. If the demand is there, supply must come. And there will be a match because of the invisible hands, wherever that is. I think it's the movement of consciousness. But, I'll allow that little bit of mystery, invisible hand of the free market, let's call it. So let's make this demand for higher needs part of the free market. Why should we just have an economy with material commodities? Why can't we have commodities like vital energies, mental meanings, even spiritual values? And then we'll have a spiritual economics.
Vamos a um breve intervalo e voltamos já já.